Welcome to this journey through the history of space exploration. Today we explore the period from the launch of Sputnik in 1957 to the historic moon landing of Apollo 11 in 1969. We delve deep into the technological breakthroughs, political tensions, and human stories that shaped this extraordinary period in history. In 1957, the space race began with the launch of the Soviet satellite Sputnik 1. This was the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. With a diameter of only 58 centimeters and a weight of 83.6 kilograms, Sputnik transmitted a simple radio pulse that was picked up all over the world. This event marked the beginning of a new era, the space age. Sputnik was not only a technical achievement, but also a powerful symbol of Soviet dominance in the Cold War. Shortly after Sputnik 1, the Soviets launched Sputnik 2 in November 1957, carrying the first living creature into space, the dog Laika. Although Laika did not survive the mission, this proved that living beings could endure launch and space travel, which was crucial for future manned missions. Laika's mission also highlighted the ethical dilemmas of early space exploration, as animals were used to study the dangers of space. In response to Soviet successes, the United States established NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, in 1958. NASA became the driving force behind American space ambitions and played a central role in the following years. The space program received a tremendous boost when President John F. Kennedy set an ambitious goal in 1961 to land a man on the moon and return him safely by the end of the decade. Kennedy's speech inspired a nation and set the stage for a decade of unprecedented scientific and technological advancements. In 1961, the Soviets made history again with Yuri Gagarin aboard Vostok 1. Gagarin became the first human in space and completed a full orbit around the Earth. This was a monumental achievement that stunned the world and further intensified the competition between the United States and the Soviet Union. Gagarin became a national hero in the Soviet Union and an icon worldwide, proving the viability of human spaceflight. The Americans responded to this challenge with the Mercury program, conducting several successful manned flights. Alan Shepard became the first American in space in 1961, followed by John Glenn, who orbited the Earth in 1962. The Mercury program was a crucial step in developing spaceflight technology and provided valuable experience for future missions. In 1963, the Soviets reached another milestone with Valentina Tereshkova, the first woman in space. Tereshkova completed 48 orbits around the Earth and spent nearly 3 days in space. Her flight demonstrated that both men and women were suitable for space travel, marking an important step towards equality in space exploration. Tereshkova's mission inspired many young women worldwide, showing that space was not reserved for men alone. While the Soviets and Americans competed, NASA worked tirelessly on the Apollo program. The early Apollo missions focused mainly on testing the technology and training astronauts for the complex tasks ahead. Sadly, Apollo 1 ended in tragedy when a fire in the command module during a ground test claimed the lives of 3 astronauts. This event shocked the nation and led to significant improvements in the safety and technology of the Apollo spacecraft. After this tragedy, NASA recovered and conducted successful missions with Apollo 7, the first manned test of the command module in Earth orbit. Then came Apollo 8, the first manned mission to orbit the moon, sending back impressive images of the moon and Earth. This mission gave the world its first glimpse of the Earth's vulnerability and beauty from space. The famous Earthrise photo, taken by astronaut William Anders, became a symbol of the environmental movement and changed how people thought about the planet. In March 1969, Apollo 9 followed, testing both the command module and the lunar module in Earth orbit. In May 1969, Apollo 10, a dress rehearsal for the moon landing, brought the lunar module within 15 kilometers of the lunar surface. These missions were crucial in refining the technology and procedures needed for a successful moon landing. Then, on July 16, 1969, Apollo 11 launched with Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Edwin Buzz Aldrin aboard. After a 4-day journey, the mission reached its destination on July 20, 1969. With the lunar module Eagle, Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the moon's surface, while Collins orbited the moon in the command module. The landing itself was a nail-biting event, with Armstrong and Aldrin manually piloting the lunar module to avoid landing in a rocky area. Neil Armstrong was the first human to set foot on the moon, uttering the unforgettable words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Together with Aldrin, he explored the lunar surface, conducted experiments, and collected samples. They spent about 21 hours on the moon, leaving a lasting footprint both literally and figuratively. The moon rocks and soil samples they brought back provided scientists with new insights into the moon's origins and history. The Apollo 11 mission marked a pinnacle in space history, demonstrating what human effort and technological innovation could achieve. The mission inspired generations and opened the door to further space exploration. The words and actions of Armstrong and Aldrin on the moon remain a lasting reminder of human ingenuity and the limitless possibilities of exploration. From the launch of Sputnik to the historic moon landing of Apollo 11, these 12 years were a time of unprecedented progress and discovery. They laid the foundation for the ongoing exploration of the universe and the pursuit of knowledge and adventure. This period was not only a technical triumph, but also a testament to the human spirit and the will to explore and discover. We hope this journey through the history of space exploration has inspired you and given you a better understanding of the immense achievements made between 1957 and 1969. The exploration of space continues, driven by the same curiosity and determination that took us from Earth to the moon. The next steps in space exploration, from Mars missions to deep space exploration, build on the foundation laid during these pioneering years. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of space exploration.